Hey everyone, I finished watching the next Street Shark episode, Turbo Sharks. This is another almost really good episode. I kind of wish the series, if it had continued, it would have had more episodes like this. Instead of, the majority of, badly animated, really plot hole heavy episodes with lots of garbage in there. This one's fine, it's fine. Let's see, it's got the same problem that the last couple of episodes have had, but anyway, it starts off with Jab is driving his Turbo Jab racing car, and this is, let's see, I can't remember which episode it was introduced in. It's this, drag racer car with just the most awkward design where Jab has to, lay on his stomach with his head up like this, and his hands, to his sides, with his hands upward to grab handles. And I know this design was probably based on a toy, but who thought of this? They couldn't just have the sharks driving a car. You had to have them in this really awkward position. I don't know, it's so weird, and it doesn't look like a practical car at all, and it gets worse at the end. Oh, and then there's a weird thing with the animation. At the beginning of this episode, especially, Benz's glasses are, way down, and you can, see his eyes. Usually his sunglasses are, way up, and you only see his sunglasses. You only see his eyes if he's, at a certain angle. Like, in the first episode, I think, when, the sharks get in his van, it shows him, the camera's, up, and it's to the side, so you can see his eyes behind his sunglasses. It's such a weird little detail that, I don't know, I never really thought about it before, but it looks very weird here to suddenly have his sunglasses down so low, and you can see his eyes so often. Whatever. Not an important thing, but something I thought was interesting. So anyway, they store Jab's Turbo Jab. Why is it called the Turbo Jab? Was that the name of the toy, and they just didn't bother coming with a better name for it in the show? Anyway, they store it in a garage, and Benz shows the sharks this security system around it. I don't know why that was a thing, because Paradigm and some other Seviots break in to plant a bomb on it. And they don't set off, or, well, Reptile, shuts off the alarm by shooting it with electricity, I think. So, I don't know, it was kind of a pointless plot point. So, let's see. Oh yeah, there's a security guard who, and this is a really weird scene. Killamari shoots him in the back with a dart, and the dart, just bounces off. It doesn't even, pierce his, shirt. And somehow that knocks the guy out by getting hit in the middle of the back. How'd that whatever. Killamari's powers are all over the place late in the series. So anyway, the next day, Jab is going out for a race in his racer thing, and then suddenly Benz and the sharks lose contact with him. Oh, and there's a weird thing. Dr. Lena is here. Holy crap, Lena's back after how freaking many episodes? The last episode she was in was A Shark Among Us, right? Wow, it's been a long time. And she's, throughout this whole episode, she's not just, there in the background. She has lines. She has a part in this a big part in this episode. It's really cool to see her back. It makes me wonder, why was she gone for so long? And I don't think she shows up again after this, either. Anyway, whatever. Oh yeah, the other weird thing that came back is Benz's van. We see it a lot, in the really early episodes, but as the series has gone on, we see his van a lot less and less. More often, we'd see him in this jet, or the sharks in some kind of other vehicles, but not that van. That very iconic-looking van. I really wonder why they didn't use it more often, because it's, such a recognizable design. Anyway, oh yeah. Streak skates up to Jab and gives him a microphone so that the others can communicate with him. And, oh, right, now I remember. I skipped over this thing. Paradigm calls up Benz and the sharks to tell them that he sabotaged Jab's racer with a Gene Slam bomb. If his speed drops below 60 miles per hour, the bomb will go off, everyone's mutated. And at first I was like, yeah, why did he bother telling them? But then Lena actually brings that up. Why would he call and tell us his plan? And then the others, like, bring up reasons, I don't know, because he's nuts, because he's a narcissist, because, I don't know. And then, so she gets the idea that maybe this is a distraction, so Dr. Lena goes to his office, which made me think about, okay, so did last episode just not happen? Because Paradigm and the Ceviots were all in prison in the last episode. He was recorded on the news, and, like, everyone saw him turn into Paranoid, so why does he... Like, he still has an office at the university or whatever? How does he keep that position, anyway? Like, I don't know. Like, the people in Street Sharks are kind of stupid, but this is really weird, and I'm wondering if this episode was out of order. Because this really feels a lot like an episode that should have been, like, way long ago. Like, this was an episode that should have been way at the beginning. But anyway, Lena's checking out his office, and she finds this letter about, there's an international trade meeting. Okay. So then, meanwhile, okay, Paradigm's in some secret lab with Reptile and Calamari, and he orders them to stop Jab's vehicle. And they question him, why? Like, why do you want us to stop? Because you told him about what was going on, so why should we try to stop him? And he's like, don't question my orders, and he picks up this ice sculpture and leaves and sends them on their way, and so then the Sharks are trying to drop Benz on Jabs' car so we can disarm the bomb, but then Reptile and Calamari show up, they unload this slippery goo all over the road, and then Ripster digs a path so Jab can drive through it, but they can't drop Benz on the thing. But then later Benz tells them that he can't disarm it without setting it off. Okay. So then, anyway. Looking at my notes here. Oh yeah. Lena follows Paradigm to the trade meeting, and she sees him unveil the ice sculpture, and that's when she realizes that the whole thing with Jab and the Gene Slam bomb on his racer are actually a distraction, and the real plan is to set off this ice sculpture. There's a bomb in the ice sculpture. When it melts, it'll set off the Gene Slam bomb and mutate everybody in the building. Which, like, either of these plans, it seems like, would have been fine. And also, he didn't need to... If Paradigm hadn't called the Sharks to tell them about the distraction plan, they wouldn't have been suspicious and checked out this other plan. He could have won. He could have had, like, a huge success here if he just didn't tell anybody what he was doing. Whatever. Jab gets the idea that he's going to drive his car to this gorge, drive it off the gorge, jump off, have someone shoot the bomb on it, which will incinerate it and render it neutral, and then one of the other Sharks can drop down with a jetpack and catch him before he drops. Okay. So that's what they do. And then Lena calls the Sharks, tells them about the ice sculpture. They break in, just take it. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of tension there. Paradigm does chase them with a flamethrower, trying to melt the thing before they can get rid of it. But they get away with it, they toss it up, they shoot it with the missile, it's incinerated, it's not a danger anymore, and, yeah, that's it. Later on, Jab is hanging out at Shark Central, Shark HQ, whatever, and he's all bummed out about his car getting wrecked. But then Benz reveals he's made a new vehicle for Jab. It's, a couple of wheels on wires. But Jab seems happy with it. Yeah, right! And it's even more awkward because this weird thing, it, like, goes on his back. The wheels are, like, on the handles in front of him. There's nothing separating Jab from the road in this vehicle. Like, the other one was really awkward, but at least he was on top of the vehicle. This one, Jab is the vehicle, and the motor is, like, sitting on his back. What? How was this supposed to... Was this a toy? if this was a toy also, then Street Sharks had some of the dumbest toy designs ever. Anyway, this episode, one of the really cool things about it is how good the animation is. The animation has really taken a step up in the last couple of episodes. Like, the animation was getting really sloppy for a while, but it's smoothed out a lot here. I'm guessing if it's partly due to this was probably made way earlier, which is why Benz's van is there, why Lena's there, why Paradigm isn't in prison, and he's still, like, respected enough to attend a trade meeting and give them a thing, and it's not considered suspicious at all. So anyway, again, like I said before, Paradigm's plan would have worked. The big plot hole in this episode is that he tells everybody what his plan is, and it's so pointless. Ugh. So anyway, not a whole lot else to say about this one. I like this episode, it's just that one big plot hole of why does Paradigm call to say, oh, hey, I'm doing this evil thing, here's my evil plan, and it's the same problem he had before. If he hadn't, like, kidnapped Manta-Man's brother and, like, blackmailed him to crash the planes, then he wouldn't have gone to the Sharks, and the Sharks wouldn't have come up with a plan to stop Paradigm. If Paradigm had just gone to the uranium mines, gotten the uranium for his Gene Slam bomb, he could have done that, and he would have won. So anyway, it's... the plots are pretty dumb at this point. I'll have to see if they get better in the upcoming episodes, but I know I have other problems with the upcoming episodes. I'll get to that when I get to it, so that's all for this one. See ya.